Good afternoon, everybody. It's Billie, the Crafty Floridian. I thought I would share this package with you guys. The other night, I found. I don't want to. I guess I can use this. Oh, I could just cut this open. I think it was Hobby Lobby had their fabric on sale, so it was a pretty big sale because I usually don't go out. But I needed some fabric to go with some 100% cotton to go with some of my stuff. You see me? My little old wrinkled hand. So anyway, I thought I'd share it with you. You and I will see this together. I've been waiting for some of this fabric to go with my bowl cozy. So let's just empty it out and then we'll look at what I got. Ooh, ooh. And look, they're all individually packaged. Well, isn't this nice? Well, I fell in love with this fabric. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't this pretty? Let me move this over. Yeah, over. Oh, there we go. See, it's got cows but I thought it would make a nice bowl cozy. Isn't that pretty? I like it. It's so different when it's up close. And usually, I don't know if y'all know a lot about fabric, but it has a salvage, uh, little salvage on the ends, and on there, it usually referenced um, like this is brother's star brother sister design studio. All right, and this is a 2018 fabric. It doesn't say whether um, it said it was printed in China, and it has a number. And here's the number right here. See this number right here? If it doesn't say that it's cotton, let me go this way. If it doesn't say it's cotton, if you key in this number in Google, it will come up to this cotton. To this fabric, and it will tell you, and tell you whether it's cotton, 100% cotton or not. So just a little FYI for your information. But oh, I like it. I like it because I got a lot of bowl cozies to be made, and I've got a lot cut, ready to sew. So after looking over my stash, I wanted more bowl cozy material. So I got that. Let's put that over there. I like it. And then I kind of like this one. It's heifers. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? I don't. I guess I got this was. If I remember correctly, this was like it was under $5 a yard. So I was real happy. I thought this would make great boat cozies too. So this is moo cows. A lot of moo cows. So I got a couple yards of that, and at that price, you don't want to miss out on that. And then this is like it's green, but it's like a brush green. Look at the color of that. Isn't that pretty? But I have what was kind of put with that? Wait a minute. Let me scroll over here. I'll show you. Where is it? This is a bag. A bag that I'm going to put together that um, someone left her colors and stuff. But anyway, um, tropical, and I thought this green would look gorgeous with this because it's got the green. See, it's got the green in there. And I thought, oh, this, and it's like they've taken a brush and like watercolored it. But I thought that would look great with this fabric, which I'm going to make a bag for someone. So I'm just going to take that and put that with that. So that'll be the bag. And then this is another fabric that was um, that I fell in love with for bowl cozies. Also, look, espresso, Java, coffee, brown. Isn't that pretty? And then I had gotten these. Where are they? These are. I made an error in a purchase. I wanted some batting, and what I ended up with was pre-cut um, cotton squares. And I thought these will look great with 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 the with this fabric for bowl cozies or whatever. So I'm sort of was tickled that I was able to so put that together. So I really do love that coffee espresso latte. So I thought that would be fun. And then what else did I get here? Then I got it was cut by Kim. Oh, that's nice. Oh, these. Oh, okay. Uh, I had a gift certificate to Hobby Lobby, so I used it, and that's. Oh, I love this. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? Oh, let's see. But isn't that pretty? With the chickens. But you can see you could add blue in here, red, and that green. So you could do a lot with this. I like that. And then I needed some red. So I was all out of red. Red is a big color that I use in doing linings. So I have red that'll go with that, and red will go with this also. So we got the red and the chickens. And then I don't do a lot of blues, but this was on sale, and this is um, chickens, not roosters, but chickens. Look at them, chickens in a basket, and it's all done. It's like a swirl colors. And then I got this blue that I could use with it. Isn't that pretty? And I like the blue. It's got little round balls on it. And let's see, this doesn't even have a salvage. Oh yes, it does. Here we go. Fabric tradition. C might be for I don't know. Um, fabric and tells 2005. Maybe that's why it's on sale. 2005. Woo, that's 20 years old. Or this pattern is 20 years old. So, so I don't know what happened to me that night. I must have been on a hen run. You get it? Hen run? Oh my gosh, look at all this. I love it. So I am all set to get some more bow because I gotta sew them. The fun part I find is matching things up and cutting them. Was that my last package? Yeah. So the fun part, you have to excuse me, I have not moved very fast today. So the fun part I think is cutting things and getting it ready to go to the machine. And once you get the cutting and the creating what you want to sew, then um, then it's a piece of cake. Um, was talking I was talking to Dory last night on the phone, and she was talking about rotary cutting and everything. And I use the scissors. Um, I don't trust myself with a rotary, um, like for cutting myself. I just it's a little I'm dangerous with a rotary cutter. I don't enjoy rotary cut because you have to put pressure on it to make it cut straight all the way down. Because if you let up, then it goes off kilter, and oh, it's just a pain. So anyway, I use scissors, and the scissors is that my good scissors? No, my good scissors are over there. So I'm real happy with what I got, and I think I don't know if there's a does it give me a total on here? See, some of this was $4.89, $4.19, $4.89. I tried to keep it around $5 or less because or $6 and less because they were on sale. Because fabric can run up to big bucks. So anyway, so with my little $25 gift certificate, this cost me less than I don't know $20-$30. So I made out like a bandit on that, and I'm very happy with all my fabric. So I'll put it over here. So let's see. I was going to discuss. I'm taking a minute. My tongue is sort of is not working correctly, but we're going to make it work correctly. So I'm excited. I think this is going to be a beautiful bag. So I'm really excited about getting that cut and all that good stuff. This came from FedEx, and I did the tracking on this. This came from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This bag, how did they send it? FedEx tracking, USPS tracking, FedEx. Okay, ground, FedEx ground. That bag went from, okay, it went from Oklahoma City to some other city, I don't remember where. Then it went to, um, let's see, it went to Jacksonville, Florida. From Jacksonville, Florida, it went to Ocala. From Ocala, it went to someplace in Orlando. Then in Orlando, it went to Port Richey, North Port Richey near Tampa. And then from Tampa, it came down here finally. So I have never seen it. It hit Florida. It hit like 5 different cities in the state of Florida just to get down here. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So anyway, you saw my email. I missed my mailman this morning. I overslept. Not overslept. I just slept long. I didn't wake up till I think it was like 11:30, and he was gone. He probably knocked on the door, but I wanted to make sure he knew about reading comments and stuff. I don't know if he knows about that or not. So I missed Brian. I got up late. Then I went dumpster diving on YouTube. Isn't that a good saying? Dumpster diving on YouTube and on the Google and all that. And I shouldn't have done that. That takes, you don't realize when you get into that computer and you got your mind set on looking stuff up, the time just goes away. It goes way, way away. Let's see. I got my phone here. I don't know. This thing answers me sometimes when I'm talking. So I have my orders, but I wanted to tell you I decided to work on or start a luck of the draw. Excuse me. Let me slide you over a little bit. I feel like I'm talking to the window, or maybe I am. Okay, so anyway, I started a luck of the draw, like my tulips. Oh, look at that piece of plastic hanging down. It's it's obscuring my view of my tulips. They make me happy. So anyway, I started a luck of the draw. I think they just drew for week 3, which means I should have 3 new colors. So what I did, here's my basket. Here's my basket. I went through and I pulled a lot of Karen Simply Soft. I have some that goes back to, oh, I don't know. See, this was $1.50 clearance. I don't know what year it is, but I think I probably have some stuff in here that's probably older than you are. But so I pulled a bunch of Simply Soft, some that don't even have bands on them. It's just Simply Soft. Simply Soft. How much was this? $2, $2.99 from Ollie's. But anyway, so I fill my basket with some Simply Soft, and that's what I'm doing my blanket in. And you can see it's all different colors: pinks, yellows, burnt orange, rose, white. White is the color in between. And what I decided, so I made up my own. I'm making up my own pattern. So the white is the color in between. And let's see what side. Both sides are kind of interesting, but this was the beginning. I mean, this is the start. I just finished the third color. Now I'll put white and get it ready for the next color. And it makes it kind of nice for me because then I don't feel like I have to keep going on it, I just stop. So I just make the white pattern is the same. I made that up and it's the same all the way. It's just a double crochet and then a cluster of 2, skip 2, cluster of 2, and then half double crochet is the third row. So I'm just doing 3 rows of the white, and then I'm doing this one. I did 4 rows, I think, or did I do 3? I did 1, 2, 3. I did 3. I'm doing like 3 rows of each color, and I'm doubling the yarn because that way I know I can get rid of it quicker, right? So yeah, so that's my boggy luck of the draw blanket that I started. So I'm just doubling up 2 colors, and you can see I did some drop stitching and some front post and just a little of this and a little of that, back post. So, and there was a point that I think it was when I was doing the pink. Yeah, I think it was the pink that I didn't make enough stitches, and so it started curving like this. So I had to rip that row out and adjust my stitches. So that was easy to do. So anyway, so that's my luck of the draw, and they draw a number. Jax from Jax Creations by Jax, Mama Swift from Mama Swift, which is Trisha, my redhead. On Thursday mornings, they draw the next color. Now, I didn't take and put colors, colored number 1 or number 2 or 3. I just didn't do that. I'm just going to go with whatever I could put together. So, anyway, so that's my luck of the draw blanket, which I'm enjoying doing. So, hopefully, and then I will take the white. See these ends, I hate ends, but it's got to be done. So anyway, so I'm gonna do a white border around it when all this is said and done. And I know you can't see her. Let's see. There she is. You gonna tell them what you did the other night? No? You see that pile right there? That's all the bowl cozies that I've cut that I have to sew. And she jumped on top and it all spread out all over the floor. I was so angry at her because I told her to stay off, but she doesn't listen to me all of a sudden. So go on, get in the window. If you're going to do anything, get in the window. But the other day I was sewing and she came right, I almost sewed my fingers to the fabric. She's getting so bossy lately. I don't know. So anyway, these are all the things that I've got to start working on, but I thought I'd show you my little, and then of course my happy mail that I got from Marianne is right there. And I also got one of the ladies that had uh, one of her donations was some ice yarn and a bag, and she asked me if I knew if anyone that you know might like to have it. And I said, yeah, I would. I love ice yarn. I mean, not ice yarn, but the ice cream yarn by Premier. I think it's Premier ice cream yarn, and the color is beautiful. It's in there, and I have a project that will be coming down the road. And let's see, what else have I got going on? Um, I think that's it for now. I can't think of anything else. Oh, I got to make some Dammit dolls um, that I'm donating uh, for a fundraiser that um, for Dory. So I've got to get that. I got to cut that and get that done. And let's see. I think that's it, my friends. I can't think of anything else. I got enough. But I want to thank y'all for orders. I tell you what, I got after seeing um, the blanket that I made for my mailman, the Minnesota Vikings. I got an order for some boat cozies in Minnesota Viking material. So that will be, I ordered the material, so I'm going to get those making. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And so I think that I'm just going to sign off now. And it's a beautiful day today. It was supposed to rain off and on till 6, but it looks like it's cleared up and the clouds are nice and white and sky is nice and blue. And probably in 2 seconds it'll probably all turn black and start pouring. But it's been raining all day, or most of the day that I've been up. No, I think it was raining all morning too. So, but I'm feeling better, I think. And now I'm really excited that my fabric's here and I could get some more projects done. Let's see what else is going on. I think that's about it. That's about. Oh, I'll tell you guys. I got my cousin. She's my second cousin, and she lives in. She lives in. I think she lives in Aiken, South Carolina. And she sent me a picture of my grandmother's house that she lived in. And my aunt and uncle, the two that were left, sold the house after my grandmother died. And you wouldn't believe, I hardly even recognized it. It was so run down, and I wish that my aunt and uncle had turned it over to the grandchildren because we would have kept it up, I think. Yeah, we would have probably renovated it and kept it up. I know we would have. But didn't happen, but it's just so sad to see. But I do have a picture of grandma's house the way it was. So I will always have that memory. It was I guess it was built in 1900, early 1900s. Yeah, probably. I mean, she was, yeah, at least. So it was way over 100 years old. And it didn't have central air, it didn't have central heat. It had a fireplace in each room, but they bricked them all up and got those gas stoves, gas heaters or whatever for a couple of the rooms, and that's about it. But boy, in the wintertime, if you stayed at grandma's house, she would she would I don't know when she did it, but she would get up maybe when she went to the bathroom, I don't know, but she'd go and turn all the electric blankets on because you would run like crazy to get to the bedroom and get under there because I'm telling you, icicles would, if your nose was running, icicles would form because it would be so cold in there. Those rooms, my God, was it cold? So yeah, it was really cold. But see, I remember when we lived there, we didn't have. And you got to remember, I was born in the 40s, so I was young. So it was the 40s, early 50s, I guess. And I remember the outhouse in the back. And there was a Sears catalog in there. I remember that very well. And boy, if you had to go at night, it was cold. That's why they put pea pots under the bed so you didn't have to run out to the outhouse at night. And grandmother had a pea pot under her bed, absolutely, up till the time she lived, before she went in the nursing home. And but I think it was probably in the late 50s, maybe in the 50s, they put a one of the little rooms. They that was like a little bedroom. I remember sleeping in there with Lizzie. Lizzie was a wonderful black lady that stayed with our family for years and years and years. And her name was Lizzie Cox. She was married to Jack Cox. And Lizzie would take paper bag and she would do strips and she'd roll my hair in paper bags, and twist them so I'd have nice curls. I love it when Lizzie did that. She did it with rags too. She would take an old shirt or something and cut strips of rags and roll my hair up in them and tie them. And I looked like a little ninny running around with my. It was so much fun. Oh, I loved her. And so they took that little room and made it into a bathroom. And then the back room, the very back room is like a kitchen, sitting room area, like in some of these older houses. And off of that was like a screen in type porch. And that's where my aunt Josie and my grandmother and my other aunt, what was Aunt Bertha? No, Aunt, God, what was her name? I can't remember because I didn't. She wasn't by marriage. She married my uncle, my grandmother's brother. But anyway, we would gather back in that. They would gather back in that room on this frame, and that's where they quilted. And I remember one day they put a bunch of, I guess, seared catalogs or something on on a chair, and I must have been really, really young, maybe 5, 4, 5, something like that. And they thread a needle for me, and they showed me how to do those tie knots. And I remember doing it, and they did it in like white thread, and they didn't have beautiful yarn like they do now, you know. So, so they taught me how to do that, and I remember doing that. So it was a big frame that they would put do the quilting. All of it was done by hand. I think the pieces of the fabric might have been sewn by my grandmother because she had a truddle um, machine, and it was there, until they sold the house and my cousin took the machine. And that's how I learned to sew. Grandma showed me how to sew on that, and that was when I was very, very young. So I started sewing at a very young age. I probably didn't sew much, but at that time, but she showed me how to work it. Yeah, that was fun. So anyway, that was my first introduction to quilting by my grandmother and her sisters. There was probably other people. I know there was like, oh God, there must have been 5 or 6 of them sitting around that frame, um, making those quilts. And it kind of like, I know there's an Amish place, quilting place down in Sarasota that, in fact, I had a craft show right in front of that quilt store. And they had frames in there the way that they do them. Of course, probably don't do them like grandmother did, but they did have a frame with quilt on it. And I'm sure they might use a treadle because they're not allowed to use electricity, I think. Isn't that the way it goes? Yeah. So they probably used the treadle um, machines to put these quilts together. So, but that was interesting. I think that's why I'm so interested in doing fusion of crocheting and fabric together. So I think it's going to be fun. So once I get all caught up with my stuff, I have some patterns that I've printed that have downloaded. I've been reading up on it. I've been watching videos on it. There aren't that many, but there are some. But it's really a lot of fun to do, and I hope to look forward to. So I got to get a little quilting under a little just random little quilting. I've done some. I've made some bags out of doing some quilting with scraps. And the other thing I thought this, I'm just babbling like a brook, aren't I? Well, yesterday I ran across a video on, well, it was on Pinterest. That's right, Pinterest, where they took used fabric and took these plastic hangers and wrapped the fabric and glued it around. And it would hold, and I just have the biggest trouble because I'm such a fluffy lady. Fluffy. I'm so fluffy that sometimes those hangers, all my clothes would just fall off. So if I think that what they're saying is that the clothes will hang on the hanger more securely if you have that, so it's not rubbing against that smooth plastic and it just wants to fall off. So I'm going to. That's something I can do. I could get my glue gun out and do that in my chair. But right now, I'm going to do some sewing. So I think I've babbled enough um, about whatever. Okay. Um, so I haven't got an update from Brian yet, but I'll let you know as soon as he lets me know. I think he's I think he's working tomorrow, and then he has a long weekend off. So I'll catch him tomorrow. I didn't catch him today. Um, and he's very good about not, you know, only. I mean, he's not a stalker or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to say have a great weekend. Oh no, today's today's Friday, right? Yeah. Okay. So have a great weekend. I will see you when I see you. See you in the next video.